welcome to today's festivities. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you. I'm Dr. Teresa Garate. I'm the Senior Vice President with Gateway Foundation and your MC for this morning. So we're going to get started. Thank you all for being here. First, a person I'm going to introduce is our host, David Woods, our Executive Director.
Thank you everyone for joining us here today. My name is David Woods. I'm the Executive Director here at Lake Village. On behalf of myself and my team, I'd like to welcome you all here. Just a little bit about what we do here. We are a 108-bed residential facility specializing in providing services to those in need of substance use and other co-occurring disorders. We currently operate 3 of our cottages, and we provide specific programming both for females and for males. Separate distinct programming. We also have a virtual platform where we have our intensive outpatient partial hospitalization and medication receiving in person is located in Germany. One of the special things that we have about the campus is that we do have several areas here where we can have other activities and get some exercise. We have outdoor basketball court, volleyball court. We have a softball diamond and a sports field, as well as the gymnasium you have right here, which hosts some nice aerobic, cardio, and some other exercise equipment. So that's a little bit about what we do here. And again, I want to thank you for joining us this morning. And I take the opportunity now to introduce you to the President of the Community Division, Mr. Martin Turner.
Thank you, Dave. It's a pleasure to be here and to see that we've got such a great turnout this morning. On behalf of our President and CEO, Dr. Tom Britton, who could be here today, I welcome you to a Gateway Foundation location. This is a very special location for Gateway Foundation. The Gateway Foundation has served the citizens of not only Chicagoland, but Illinois for over 50 years. But this was the first campus where we opened residential services approximately 50 years ago. And over time, we've added, expanded, and built buildings on this campus so that we can serve more people. So it's really exciting to have you here at our premier kind of first campus today to join us at a time where we're celebrating not just the past Gateway, but the future. But you know, as I was driving onto the campus this morning, I was thinking about all of the staff and the clients who've been served on this campus over the last 50 years and what an impact that has made to not only the lives of the people that have been served here, but we know that this is a disease that impacts the family. And so when somebody receives care and services and enters into recovery, it certainly has an impact on them, but it has an impact on the people who love them and the people that then they go forward and share their recovery with in terms of continuing to pay them forward. And so I just wanted to reflect on the big impact that we've had, but I'm also excited about the possible impact that we will have in the future. But it's going to be my pleasure to introduce one of our alumni that has received services here at the Lake Village campus. Her name is Lori, and she's going to tell you a little bit about her experience. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Lori. I'm in recovery. So I'm going to start by telling you a little bit how I came to Gateway. In 2008, my mom passed away after a battle with cancer. I was very close with my mom. She was my rock. Let's just say I didn't handle her death properly, grieving. Soon after her death, I had elbow and shoulder surgery. I was also introduced to pain management and pain medication. I found it helped my physical pain, but I could also mask my personal pain too. After years of pain management, my disease had taken over. I could not live life on life's terms without drugs or alcohol. In 2013, my children were grown up, went to college, moved out of the house, got divorced, sold the house, and I ended up moving in with a friend, which became a very toxic relationship. I found myself losing communication with my children, lying, isolating, and living a lonely, secret life. In the fall of 2014, I knew I was dependent on drugs and alcohol to function. I checked myself into Gateway. When I got here, I was really scared. It had been a long time since I had just been alone, me, by myself. The first couple days I stayed in my room journaling. The counselors were really welcoming and comforting. They knew I needed a couple days just to clear my head. One night I was sitting in my room journaling, and I heard a lot of noise in the women's common area. And I came out to find ladies dancing, doing crafts, singing, laughing. And for the first time I felt hope. Before I knew it, I was dancing, singing, and doing the same activities too. The program has very informative groups, meditation groups. We took nature walks, and we even had a scarecrow building contest between the houses. This helped me bond with the girls in the house that I was in treatment with, plus we won. It was really fun, and I think they still do that. I began to get some of my spirituality back. I had a therapist here that worked really hard with me dealing with my mom's death. He actually had me write a letter from her to me, and I had never done that. That helped a lot. I learned to meditate. I gathered coping skills so I could deal with life and death without drugs and alcohol. When I left Gateway, I went to do outpatient treatment. That was very helpful. But unfortunately, I went back to the same people, places, and things. I stayed sober for a while, but having drugs and alcohol in front of me where I lived eventually led me back to experiment for a few more years. In desperation, I finally got tired of being sick and tired. I finally surrendered. Today I live in the day. I work a 12-step program. I have 2 great children and a daughter-in-law. I am so grateful I can be there for them today sober. I have met new friends, and I stay active in the recovery community. Most of all, I try to spread the word of hope. I now feel that my mom and dad are with me always. I am grateful to Gateway for showing me hope and helping me find myself again. Today I am grateful for life, and I try to stay humble and kind. I would like to thank the Larson Family for their generous gift. The Health and Wellness Center will provide Gateway clients a wonderful way to build on their self-care, body, and mind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lori. That was wonderful. All right, got it. Can you all hear me? Yeah, I don't really need this little thing. Thank you so much. You know, I know it's hard to get up and tell your story, so that takes a lot of courage. And I just want to say the reason that we are all here today, it's not about the Larson family or us. It's about making sure that we're here to continue providing life-saving treatment for people like Lori and Jamel. Jamel is one of our alums, and any of us who this disease might impact in the future. So thank you so much for sharing your story. That was really powerful. So now we're going to go into kind of the next part of our program. But first, I want to recognize some of our elected officials. We have the mayor of Lake Villa here somewhere. There he is. We have Representative Sandy, Representative Tom Weber, and members of Senator Linda Bush's office somewhere over there. So thank you all for being here. Having our elected officials here today is very important. This center is here in Lake Villa, but it serves a broader community of Illinois and the northern region. And we serve people from the entire state. So thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. So now I'm going to introduce the spokesperson for the Larson family. His wife and his sister say that he's the one who speaks for everybody, Mr. Paul Larson. Before I do that, I want to share, I had lunch with Heather and Andrea about a month and a half ago, now almost, yeah. And they shared the story about their parents. I'm going to get emotional. It was so touching to hear how generous your parents were. So on behalf of everyone at Gateway, thank you. Thank you for making this dream a reality for us and for the future clients of Gateway. And with that, we're going to introduce Paul Larson to come and say a few words.
So I'm humble, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have my mask on. Hard to hear me. So, all right. A little bit about my parents first. So my parents grew up in rural farming towns in northern Illinois. They met while going to school at Northern Illinois University. And I guess when I reflect on my parents, I know that a lot of the success they achieved in life that made, the donation like this possible was in a large part because they supported each other. I also think that our home, we had they grew up in a cornfields in the middle of Illinois, and they moved us to a home here in the burbs. It was at, a little creek running through the backyard, and some oak trees, and when they weren't busy maintaining it, they were, I think it was a nice place, a safe place for them to kind of be at peace and kind of have a nice spot for them to call home. My dad began working with Gateway when I was in high school. I know he believed in Gateway's mission to help addicts get better and in the seriousness of addiction. I know on several occasions, he talked to me of people that he knew, family members, and others that struggled with alcoholism at the time, and and his concerns about it. Like most families, addiction is not far away from our family either, and we know some family members that struggle with alcohol. We've had several family friends whose children have struggled with opioids, and some that have lost that struggle. And so it is a very impactful thing to our community and people and lives. And of course, it's 75% of the overdoses coming from opioids. And increasing. It's Gateway's mission is far from over, unfortunately. Our family believes in Gateway and the role they play in recovery from addiction, which is what led my parents to basically setting aside some of their wealth as they passed to Gateway to basically do something like this. They didn't really say what they wanted to do with it. They said, here's some money, Paul, Andrea, Mark, Heather, figure it out. Talk to them, figure out how best to use it. But eventually, my parents were doers. They're always working in the house. But really, when two things come to mind when I think about my parents, and kind of who they were. The first thing is a love of life, and then persistence. So, my father later in life struggled with Parkinson's, and even though he struggled to get around, to eat, to swallow, to move, I never heard him complain about it once, right? So the persistence of dealing with the hand we've been dealt, and just trying to deal with it and cope with it. It's something that he just kind of did. We'd go to my son's basketball games, and he couldn't get in the chair, the bleachers any longer, right? So we find these little chairs like this and pull up beside the bleachers. He didn't care that he was sitting differently than everyone else did. He was just happy to be there and experience it and enjoy life with his grandchildren. Through all those, persistence, I guess, on behalf of Gateway's employees and the board and managers of Gateway, obviously it will be important as Gateway moves forward, just as it is in the addict's recovery. So persistence, it's not something you can give up on. It's an ongoing battle, and I recognize that. And I think my parents kind of lived that persistence as well, even though for different things. It's our family's sincere hope that this new health and wellness center will offer a place of peace, where those in the program can heal physically and mentally, spiritually, however you look at it, to get yourself heal. And then supported by the Gateway staff. Much like the way my parents support each other. And I think that was, again, the basis of a lot of their success. Here, kind of nestled in the trees, the oak trees, they're very similar to my parents' house, with the bodies of water nearby. I'm really reminded of the house where I grew up, and kind of a place where they had peace, and were able to, come home and have that peaceful place. And we hope that with the construction of this new health and wellness center, that the patients will be persistent, successful, and able to enjoy and embrace their love of life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to invite Representative Lane and Representative Weber and the mayor to come up and say a few words if you'd like. I have to put you up. I know you guys are really shy. You never speak in public. But before I was a little remiss. We do also have a representative from Lake County Health Department here. Thank you for being here. And our architects and our construction partners. So MKB Design worked to design these beautiful drawings. So yeah, they're around if you have questions about the design. And ECI Construction, John Blackler and Pete, who is our newest member of our Young Professional Board, are here also. So they'll be around to answer any questions if you kind of want to envision what this is going to look like after this is all done. So just want to make sure I recognize that as well. Come on up. Mayor, would you like to say a few words?
Hello, everybody. I'm State Representative Tom Weber. My family's been a long time residents of Lakeville Liquor. And I just want to say personally thank you to the Larson family. It's amazing the work that's been done here. And like you said, this is something that touches every family in one way or another. And I just wanted to say thank you because I have had nephews here at Gateway. And it's been an ongoing battle for my sister and her husband. And we actually lost one of those nephews about a year and a half ago. And 35 years old. And I found out last night that his brother, 4 years younger, is currently in the hospital recovering. So this is something that is not just important for the community family out there who has members that are struggling with addiction, who have lost hope and have nowhere to turn. And I'm just thankful, and our community is really blessed that we have someone willing to fund such amazing projects. And again, thank you for everything, and thank you to Gateway for the work that you do.
I don't know if I can follow Tom. It's very eloquently said. I want to thank Gateway for all the work you've done for not only Lake County, but the entire northern part of Illinois. I grew up in Lakeville, and Gateway's always been part of the community and just a very valued partner for everyone who's come through here and for Lake County as a whole. And the Larson family, I want to thank you so much for this legacy gift. This is unbelievable. This will go so far to help people who struggle from addiction on an ongoing basis. Addiction transcends all sorts of boundaries. And I know that in my family, we've had a number of members who have succumbed to addiction, and unfortunately, we do lose a couple family members to that. So addiction has to be addressed publicly, and it is something that should not be swept under the rug. And I really appreciate everything that you guys are doing for Gateway. And Gateway, thank you for everything you're doing for everyone else. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the Larson family also. This is an asset to our community. It's a beautiful piece of property. It's been here since I was born and raised in Lakeville. It's been here all my life. Never been in it. Seen from the lake. This is a wonderful facility, and it helps so many people. It's great plus for
Thank you, Mayor. So we're almost done. We're going to do kind of a little photo op and a check presentation. But does anybody have any questions for anybody? When's it gonna be done? Are we there yet? So this is a multi-year capital campaign. This gift is a big step forward. It's gonna help us complete the illumination room, but we have big plans. So we will be working over the next 2 or 3 years to raise funds to finish everything, because there's multiple phases, and hopefully our goal is, 3 years from now, it'll be all done, but we hope that we will be breaking ground on this initial project in the spring. So be on the lookout for announcements, and please continue to support us. If you do have questions, we're all going to be around after, and thank you for coming. And so how do we want to do this, Dana? Yeah, will the three of you come on up, and Mark and David? Turn that off. All right, here, why don't you accept it on behalf of Gateway? Picture. You don't have to be quiet or anything. All right, here we go. How about a big picture? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming, everyone.